I'll say this, and I'm gonna get in trouble with conservatives. You cannot deport every single person.
I'm going to go there with you anyway, because I know you and I both share the same belief that there needs to be a better path to citizenship for good people, which is the next part of this.
Exactly. We have to do something.
Yeah.
We're not going to be able to deport. We don't want ICE agents worried about this. We need to really get terrorists. And so we could create a system where there's people that came over here or that's here that are working and doing the right thing. And we could give them a pathway somewhere. They don't have to have citizenship right away. They may have to pay restitution. They may have to be clean, meaning that they have to have a job, maintain a job. We can put parameters around it.
Absolutely.
But there are people that come over here for a better opportunity, and not everybody that's here is doing it for nefarious purposes, because some of them have been lied to. That means in Mexico and some of these other places, the cartel is telling them, if you just make it to America, you're safe. It's the land of the beautiful. All the opportunities. You won't have to worry about XYZ. You can go have a good life. They are being lied to. Then they get over here and realize, no, there's laws in place. Oh, wait a minute, I could be deported? Like, they didn't tell me this when I paid them $17,000 in order to get my family over here in the United States of America. So there's a swath of people that we don't have to waste time deporting if they're active members of society and they're not committing crimes. And like I said, to make a caveat so people don't get mad at me, and really, I don't care if they get mad at me, but I want to be reasonable about it.
You've
I really
taken
want to be
on
reasonable.
Everybody lately fighting for what's right really across the board, which I love about you.
I really want to be reasonable, though, because I don't want to be superfluous and make people mad just for the sake of it, because I do think that there's ways that we can manage this and do it better, and therefore it will accompany us doing something very difficult first, and then we can lighten it up later. That means we should end all immigration into the United States of America outside of merit-based immigration. And we do that for a period of time so we can reconcile what's going on and fix the system. And then we can make a clear determination of how many people can we actually have in our country that can function within the system that we have. When COVID was going on, everybody was saying the hospitals are overrun. And the reason the hospitals are overrun because there's a influx of population that we don't account for. Mm-hmm. They don't build extra hospitals because we don't know how many people are actually in a city. And so when the rubber hits the road and people are forced to go to the hospital because of complications or sickness or illness from pre-existing conditions that they came from Mexico with or wherever they came from, we now have an influx to accommodate for these people. So they overrun the hospitals, and American citizens are sitting out there dying on beds. And these are things that as the American people or as a country, we should thwart those things. We should make it equitable for everybody so that we can live in a society of peace, love, and tranquility according to, in my opinion, the Bible, and outside of the Bible, according to our laws that have been created.
Every fall, there's that shift in the air, right? Mornings get a little cooler, the light changes, and suddenly you're reaching for layers that make you feel grounded, comfortable, pulled together. And those are just a few of the things that I love about Quince, because their pieces don't scream for attention, but the second you put them on, you feel the difference. They've nailed the sweet spot of luxury quality without the luxury markup. Their $50 Mongolian cashmere sweaters are ridiculously soft, not too heavy, not too thin, not itchy. It is literally the perfect layer that I wear under a coat or on its own. The denim fits like a dream. Clean lines, flattering on everyone. These are the kind of staples that end up on repeat. It's your personal fall uniform without even trying. My favorite piece is the Italian wool coat. Oh my God. The one I have looks and feels designer, but it costs a fraction of the price. The tailoring is beautiful. The weight is perfect. And somehow I manage to look great effortlessly every time I have it on. And what makes Quince different is how they work. So they partner with ethical top-tier factories, the same ones that produce for major designer labels, and they cut out the middlemen. So you're getting exceptional craftsmanship, responsible production, and prices that are about half of what you'd normally pay for pieces of this quality. So it's refined without being fussy, elevated, but approachable. The kind of wardrobe that makes you feel like you've grown into your style and finally stop compromising between quality and cost. Find all your staples at Quince. Go to quince.com/Jillian for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/Jillian to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Jillian. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US. So if you're intimidated about designing a website, don't worry. Shopify's got you covered from the get-go with beautiful, ready-to-go templates to match your brand style. And if you need a hand, you can get help with everyday tasks like enhancing product images, writing product descriptions, generating discount codes. Shopify's AI tools are created for commerce. And if people haven't heard about your brand, Shopify helps you find your customers with easy-to-run email and social media campaigns. And if you get stuck, Shopify is always around to share advice with their award-winning 24/7 customer support. They have you 365-degree covered. So turn those dreams into and give them the best shot at success with Shopify. So sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/Jillian. Just go to shopify.com/Jillian. That's shopify.com/Jillian. You know, you bring up such great points, and I see the left trying to take this moral high ground, like they're the good guys and the guys with the really big heart. And then they say that quiet part out loud of like, and who's going to pick your fruit? And I hate to say it, but it unquestionably comes off like you want to serve class. You want slave labor out of these people who are undocumented. Otherwise, you would give them a path to citizenship because they won't be your maid for very long. When we allow people to come in here legally, we have seen historically they're more inclined to start small businesses and create jobs. Their kids do better in school. They pay more into the system than they take. But as you so eloquently put it, when they're here legally, they have no protections. They're being exploited across the board. Kids are being trafficked. Fentanyl is flowing over the border. You've got shadow economies. They are costing billions more than they're paying into the system, unquestionably. We know this for a fact. So if you have such a big heart, why are you trying to get ICE agents killed instead of focusing on reform? I'm curious. And I was watching you, a couple of weeks ago on your show, and you were saying, like, if the Republicans don't do this, God willing, I mean, the Democrats eventually will, and the party that figures it out, a humane path to citizenship, is going to be the one that wins here. Do you think that the conservatives are going to come around and say, all right, we got to do the right thing here. We got to figure this out, or is this going to be a political football forever?
Well, being a former police officer, which once you're a cop, you're always a cop in your mind. I always see it two ways. There's a path where Republicans are going to shoot themselves in the foot and be dumb enough to push this down the road. And then one of the Democrats get in office, and now they give pathway to citizenship because they have the House, the Senate, and the presidency. And then these people are going to vote for who? The people who gave them citizenship, who show compassion towards them. So the reality is that Republicans are in a unique position. We have the Supreme Court. We have House and Senate, or at least we have some majorities that we can make things happen. We have the presidency. Donald Trump may be on his way out because he can't get reelected. He should employ something similar to this. Therefore, it would secure they brought these people over here because they wanted to do this the entire time. Sanctuary cities and swing states, they want to get them infiltrated, and then they're going to give pathway to citizenship, and then we'll never win an election ever again. Yep. If we can beat them to their own punch, which means we can control immigration, the people in here, we can do something right by them, I think we will win forever. And there is a pathway that Republicans can do that and solidify. Yeah, people are going to be mad at you for a short period of time, but the people who are small businesses that have these people employed will love you in the long run. And I'll say this, they don't really have real compassion for these people, because if you went to the border and you saw how they got here, the trek over here, how many people die. Yeah. And the summertime is over now, but in the summertime, they run these people through the desert. They don't have water. They don't have resources. Yeah. They rape the kids, and they traffic the kids. I mean, think about this for a minute. When you bring kids over here and they're undocumented, you could traffic them. They have no identity. They have no association. They have no connection. We don't even know where they're from. And people can traffic them with no recourse because we don't have any identity on the people who are trafficking, right? They don't have a social security number. They don't have a criminal record. So we can't go out and find these people. And it creates an undercurrent of society that don't need to happen. And it creates a crime level that don't need to happen. And these young people that are here and these parents that are here that are doing the right thing are being victimized. And we all know it. And let me tell you this, Jillian, this is the same thing that happened during slavery. Same party. The Democrat Party did this during slavery. They want to advocate, well, who's going to pick the cotton? Yes. Who's going to be in service? Yeah. We need slavery to continue. And people were getting manipulated. And the same thing is happening to illegal aliens. When they come out and talk, they don't talk about business people. They don't talk about doctors and lawyers. When they talk about immigrants, they're not even talking about legal immigrants. They're talking about illegals that don't have a upward mobility in society. They need them to stay low so they can pay them under the table and give them wages lower than what's required by the government. And even companies that employ them that have to identify that they're employing these people, they still are not going to give them a good amount of money. When I was a police officer, and people used to come to the hospital all the time for this, they get hurt on the job and they get seriously injured. And they come to the hospital and they won't tell you how they got hurt. And the reason why they won't tell you how they got hurt, because if you find out that they got hurt on a job, that job would then be revealed that they employed an illegal alien and they have to pay some benefits to this person.
Right.
They don't want to do that. They want the undercurrent of society where they can manipulate these people. They can buy them out. Cartels can manage these people. And I think it's wrong, Jillian. And they know it's wrong. I'm not an expert. I haven't been in politics that long. Somebody like Gavin Newsom and some of these Democrats have been in politics longer than I've been alive. They've been through all the presidents that have tried to enforce these things and have tried to make legislation. Some of them have been a part of Congress when these things were being discussed. But yet they come out under Trump's administration, not Biden. They said nothing when Biden was in office. I remember AOC was crying at that fence and doing a photo op under Trump's administration.
That's right.
She haven't cried a single time when these kids are in cages that were established and initiated by Barack Obama.
The Obama cages. They seemed far worse than alligator Alcatraz. Call me crazy. But we're by the way, our National Guard has slept before, so our military has used alligator Alcatraz. But the cages, those were fine. 100%.
And they want you to deport people who are criminals, but leave their kids here unintended.
Right.
That don't make any sense. So when they deport kids with their parents, that's where they should go. And let me add this. We should have always, from the foundation, from the foundation of our country, we should have always gotten rid of the anchor baby situation, because the citizenship birthright, when you're born on American turf, was really for American black slaves so that they could have access to the Constitution like anybody else, because they weren't citizens at some point. So they made it and established it that if you are born here, you become a citizen. That was for slaves. That's not for people breaking and entering in our country. And they have that so they can continue to leverage these people to get over here. And once they have a baby, it's harder for you to get them out of here. They should have eliminated that. And I hope that President Trump and the Congress will eliminate that moving forward and just make the main thing the main thing. You come over here legally, you can have children and have, success in America. If you come here illegally by sneaking through a fence or lying about your immigration status, or not immigration status, but lying about seeking asylum, that we should deal with those people appropriately. And once we get our system fixed, this country will be so much better. It would be so much more clean when it comes to our finances and our financial support of people. And we will probably be able to have more qualified people come over here and compete for jobs that can really make a difference in America.
All right, guys, if you like this clip and you want to watch the full episode, click here. And if you want more content like this, you can subscribe to the show by clicking